Hello and welcome to the cryptocurrency news channel. Today we're going to talk about XRP price and can it reach 50 cents by November. I think there is an outside chance it can actually reach 50 cents by November. I know there's the Bitcoin time traveler's prediction that Bitcoin's going to be 16K by the end of October, but he is a time traveler and I don't really believe in time travelers. I mean, he might be right because 16K by the end of October is possible. It's not impossible because Bitcoin just, dropped from like 13K to 8K. So there's nothing that says that there's a bull run, it can't go up to 16K. And if Bitcoin hits 16K before a swell, I think XRP can easily rise above 50 cents before a swell. But let's just say Bitcoin doesn't actually do that. It stays around 8, 9K for the entire time. I still think there is a possibility for 40, 50 cents pre-swell. And because sometimes swell actually does give a pump, like last year. Now, the year before that, you can see here, swell gave a small pump as well. But last year was a really big pump. Basically, according to how much it was. It was basically 25 cents where we are right now, and it went up all the way to 70 cents before immediately dropping to 50 cents and then 40 cents. And there was a repump in November right here because of all the rumors. Now, we're seeing kind of the same thing this year because there's a lot of hype going into swell. I don't know how much hype there will be after swell like last year, but there was a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype going into swell. You have the secret project by CoinField, which it's supposed to be game-changing, but I'm going to guess that's kind of more of a long-term project that's really not going to affect things for a couple of years. It might be game-changing in the future. Don't really think it's game-changing right now, but there's that project by CoinField, and that's promoting a lot of hype. They're going to give some more details about that on October 15th and on November 8th at the summit, and that's actually when swell ends, November 8th. But they're going to be at another summit giving more details about that. There's this big deal made about the BitPay signing on the 18th. The BitPay thing will actually help XRP liquidity, I believe, but BitPay already accepts Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, so it's going to be like just another coin adding onto the BitPay system. So while that they've made the signing all extravagant, that might help with some liquidity, but it won't pump up the price, within the next couple of weeks or a couple of months. But the hype going into all that stuff with swell coming, with the secret project, with BitPay, that actually might float prices a bit. And the anticipation coming up to swell may achieve an upwards price of 40, maybe possibly 50 cents. I think it's an outside shot if Bitcoin doesn't move, but it is actually possible. If you actually look at the volume over the last month, you can see like these volume crests have been smaller one after the other, but the price since this point has actually been up. Well, in terms of Bitcoin value, in terms of USD, it's actually been down because Bitcoin has dropped a lot. So you can see in terms of Bitcoin value, it's actually up. Now, generally what I notice is right now, I think it's actually kind of hit a low. It's kind of hit a low with respect to Bitcoin. When Bitcoin actually moves down, XRP moves down in value as well in terms of USD, but it actually gains on Bitcoin in terms of Satoshi ratio. But when Bitcoin actually moves up, it actually loses Satoshi ratio with respect to Bitcoin. So you kind of have that opposite effect. USD value, both of them go up together. But in terms of Satoshi ratio, it's kind of like an inverse effect right now. So if Bitcoin goes to 16,000, I bet XRP will actually lose Satoshi ratio at first until swell. But if Bitcoin doesn't move or moves down, XRP will gain Satoshi ratio. But I think overall, the next month is positive for XRP because it's actually going into swell. And I think we'll see more increases in the volume going into swell. Now, do I think that the pump will actually be maintained after swell? No, I don't think so. And that's because the utilization value isn't going to be enough to maintain 40 or 50 cents after swell. You can look at Gallagher's charts, and he actually charts like number of successful XRP payments by type. And you can see there really hasn't been that much growth lately in terms of remittance payments, even counting all the XRapid payments coming in. It's been pretty even. It's actually been pretty even since August, end of August, and it was actually greater towards the middle of this year. And that's because Bitcoin price is a lot higher. There's probably a lot more speculation. And right now, despite the XRapid payments on Bitso, which seem to be slightly increasing week by week, which is cool, there really hasn't been all that much increase in terms of the number of payments actually being made. So I don't expect that to really change towards the end of this year. I know they say they're going to ramp up volume on Bitso, but volume on MoneyGram, but MoneyGram only has so much volume altogether, and some of those corridors are just not ready. Like you can't just get a corridor into like Namibia, for instance, because there are no participants in the market in Namibia. That takes time. So essentially, I don't think the utilization value towards the end of this year or in a month will really maintain that 40 or 50 cents, and it will actually drop back down depending on where Bitcoin is. If Bitcoin is really high, it will be the USD value of XRP will be high, but it will continue to drop Bitcoin ratio. So if you actually sold XRP during the last pump, if you sold XRP around September the 18th, right now would actually be not a bad buy-in point because I do think it'll go towards swell. If you sold based on Bitcoin ratio, like I sold around 2,800 when it actually came up from around 2,400, you're probably going to have to wait until after. You might actually have to wait until after swell to buy back in at a lower price. I'm pretty sure you will be able to buy back in at a lower price, but you won't be able to do so before swell. And I'm not really going to buy in before swell because of that. I can wait a month or two on my swing trade. I might even swing trade my stack into Cardano or Ethereum because I believe those two are actually going to increase towards the end of the year because of either Shelly staking or because of the hype over Ethereum 2.0. But I don't think you're going to be able to get that much lower of a Satoshi ratio going into swell. Now, if it suddenly drops to 24 or 2,500 in terms of Satoshi ratio, you should buy back in with the swing stack if you sold at 28 to 3,100 in terms of Satoshi ratio, because that's pretty good gains already, and you actually give yourself access to the swell pump on your swing stack. So that's kind of like how I see it right now. Do I think XRP will be above $1 by the end of the year? No, I actually don't unless Bitcoin pumps big time, but I can see XRP almost doubling its price, maybe going to 40 cents by the time swell is here. But I think unless Bitcoin pumps after that, the price of XRP will come down afterwards, kind of like last year, how it kind of petered off towards the end of the year, and especially after the new year, after all the rumors dissipated, because there's a lot of hype going into swell. And I think Ripple and its partners kind of bank on this. They actually generate all this hype towards this time of the year. So the asset valuation has a chance to go up, and they want to make their conference really, really big. So we'll actually have to see what happens over the next month. It'll be really exciting. I do think there is a good chance that XRP goes to 40, 50 cents toward this time. I think 50 cents is like on the outer edge unless Bitcoin really pumps, but I think it is possible. But after that, I think you will want to sell your swing stack around November 8th, if not a little bit before, because I think it will actually maximize its USD value or BTC value at that point. So that's my analysis on XRP price for traders. If you're like a holder, I mean, you just hold, so this is kind of useless. But if you're actually a trader in XRP, I do believe that's how you will actually increase your standings in XRP. So let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.